AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. Stocks finished the day higher on Wall Street, helped by a Labor Department report that says inflation and consumer prices cooled last month. Here's the AP's Seth Sutel.
The continued slowing of inflation is good news for both American households and businesses. Hopes have been building that the Federal Reserve can finally start bringing interest rates down from the highest levels in more than 20 years. The Fed holds its next meeting on interest rates in September.
At the White House, President Biden was asked if the country has beaten inflation.
Yes. I told you we're going to have a soft landing. We're going to have a soft landing. My policies are working. Start writing that way, okay?
Former President Donald Trump is campaigning today in North Carolina. He's focusing on the economy.
I gave Harris and Biden an economic miracle, and they quickly turned it into an economic nightmare with a nation-wrecking agenda ripped straight out of Kamala's San Francisco liberal playbook.
Republicans are looking for Trump to focus more than just in the arguments and attacks he's made on Vice President Kamala Harris. The World Health Organization declared the increasing spread of Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox in Africa, is a global health emergency, warning the virus might ultimately spill across international borders. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus is with the WHO.
Last year, reported cases increased significantly, and already the number of cases reported so far this year has exceeded last year's total, with more than 14,000 cases and 524 deaths.
So far, more than 96% of all Mpox cases and deaths are in a single country, Congo. The state's highest court ruled an informational pamphlet for Arizona voters who will decide in the fall whether to guarantee a constitutional right to an abortion can refer to a fetus as an unborn human being. The court also ruled a proposal that would let Arizona local police make arrests near the state's border with Mexico will appear on the ballot. This is AP News. Russia says it has stopped Ukraine's offensive into Russia.
An attempt to broaden the week-long Ukrainian incursion deeper into the Kursk region was blocked by Russian army units, aircraft and drones. Meanwhile, a Ukrainian official has said the cross-border operation was aimed at protecting Ukrainian land from long-range strikes launched from Kursk. He added that Ukraine had no intention of taking the territory. Ukraine's Western partners have said the country has the right to defend itself, including by attacking across the border. I'm Karen Chemas.
Ukraine claims it took more ground, captured more Russian prisoners, and destroyed a bomber in attacks on military airfields. The Vatican has expelled the founder of an influential Peruvian religious movement, Luis Fernando Fugari, after more than a decade of downplaying allegations of sexual and psychological abuse and financial corruption. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news from a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning, Marianas.
Everybody, it is Thursday morning. It's a thirsty Thursday. That's why I ran over there to top off my coffee. Yeah, it's a good one. Good morning, everybody. Hey, it's 84 degrees out here on a beautiful Saipan morning. 79% humidity up at the airport. We're looking at partly sunny skies today with a high near 87. Winds out of the southeast. 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts as high as 22. It's going to be blowing around out there a little bit. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight, mostly cloudy skies, low near 79. And look out, precipitation's a 50% chance. Hey, it's raining all over the place. It's going, but I'll tell you what, the good news is the paving is going on out here. It looks like we're getting so close to getting this road work done out here. I know we're not done yet because they still got to scoop up that weird lane in the middle. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they're doing it, but I just know that they're doing and progress. The march of it continues here in the CNMI, and there's a lot of places getting paved now. This long stretch over here in front of the shack, from Toyota down to the shack, past the gym, they've been putting down, they've been really compacting the heck out of it out there and putting that tar down and everything. So they're getting ready. They are definitely getting ready. Hey, good morning, Tobot. Good morning, June. Good to see you, my man. Tobot says, the grind continues at 8 a.m., literally spine grinding metal to metal. Tobot, that just means you're the Terminator now. You have been sent here. You are the T-1000. You have been sent here to find Sarah Connor. Yeah, that's it. The Tobotnator. The Tintinator. The Tint Man from Dan. He has come here through space and time to tint your ride. Or your home, or your office. He'll do all that stuff. Hope you're feeling better, buddy. Good to see you out here, though. I'll tell you, when you're out here, every show's a better show when I see you out there, man. And that goes for all you guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. We got some cool stuff to talk about today. We're going to be getting you some, going to bring you a little bit of what was going on up north. We talked about it, that warning system that they're going to test out up north with Homeland Security Emergency Management, and we got to see them in action yesterday. I got some sun. Ever since Ann told me I'm looking a little pale, I've been working on it by getting outside and not just sitting in here in the studio doing video stuff and all that. But really, it's when cool stuff is happening in Saipan. That's what I want to go out and get and let you know what's happening. Sometimes I'll think it's cool and I'll just go off and do these things. So like this one, we received the notice from Homeland Security Emergency Management that they were going to do this testing for this alarm system that they've got. It's like a public address warning system, and it's supposed to do stuff for like wildfires, tsunamis, airstrikes. That's even part of it. And so I reached out to them yesterday and said, hey, we check it out when you do all that? They're like, yeah. Sure. So they were doing it up north in Marpy. So, they try to, it's pretty loud, and they want to do it so that not everybody in the whole community would end up being alerted or worried that something was happening. And so they went up there, and so that's what we got. So we got some video of that, and we're going to show that to you in a little bit. We already played you the latest headline that's coming out from Associated Press. There'll be another one at the top of the hour that we'll get to as well. And we're going to start talking about some of the headlines that we got out here because there's some interesting stuff happening. I mean, one of the biggest deals that we had that we were talking about for a while was what's going on with the case against the former Governor Torres, and what the Attorney General's office was going to do about it after they were ruled to be disqualified by Judge Pro Tem Barcinas. So now that that's not the case, hold on, I'm going to find it here. One second. Now that they've already expressed that they were going to appeal the case, but now they have actually appealed the case. So now that ball is rolling, and we'll see what happens. So it's going to be in the hands of the CNMI Supreme Court to find out if they agree with what Judge Pro Tem Barcinas had to say with regards to their office being disqualified from prosecuting the former governor, saying that they were a little bit too close. They were tainted, and that's not the kind of soft sell tainted love that they were hoping for. Anyway, I was listening to that report, and it reminded me of a joke. This is not mine. This is not my original thing, but I thought it was really funny when I heard it back in the COVID times. But they were talking about back when everyone was being told about COVID and the coronavirus and all that stuff. And they said, oh no, and then there's monkeypox, right? So they changed monkeypox, the name of it, to Mpox, because they thought because I mean it is out of Africa, but they said, oh, maybe that's going to be offensive, right? So there's no longer monkeypox; they're calling it mpox. And I don't remember which comedian it was. It's like, geez, they're calling it mpox. Well, then I wonder what the N in the N95 mask stands for. Like, oh my gosh, awful. But I hadn't thought about that. I didn't even realize, because that monkeypox thing came and went, right? I mean, it was around for a while. It was something that people were worried about, and then it was something that nobody heard about anymore. Well, at least not here or in the mainland. And in the report today, it was the first time I had heard about it in a long time. And apparently, you know, there's people around the world who are just battling all these kinds of diseases and tracking them and all that stuff. And so that's what's happening there. In that report from the Associated Press, they were talking about how it may, you know, continue to spread. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know enough about that, but I know that they were saying that there were certain ways it's transmitted and all that other stuff, and certain communities who are more apt to get it. So whether or not that's a big deal for us, we'll see, but at least they're covering it, and they'll talking about it a little bit. Anyway, good times. Hey, while we're here in the morning, we'll get this thing started. I'll show you this video that we ended up doing. This is about that alarm system that we got from Homeland Security here. In fact, let me open up their press release about it real quick, just to give you a little heads up before we get to it. Go to documents under the old news service, HSEM, and it's called the All Hazard Mobile Siren Testing. And this is what happened yesterday. It was between 2 and 4, and it's the activation of the sirens in Marpy near the landfill. And it was past the landfill, right where that road splits between where you go to Cowtown and then where you go to the bomb pits for the DFEMS. Anyway, it says these mobile all-hazard sirens are a critical component of the CNMI Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. Testing this equipment is for the preparedness and response strategy designed to alert residents of a range of potential threats, including tsunami warnings, severe weather warnings, wildfire, and air raid warnings. The main things is that, okay, so that's it. All the other stuff in the headlines is basically just to say, or in the press release is basically to say, hey, if you hear it, don't freak out. It's just a test. And they've done this before. They told us that they had done this out by Pow, which is pretty neat. All right, so this is from Homeland Security yesterday, and I'll roll it your way. Hey, Luisa, good morning. And by the way, Luisa, real quick, before we jump into this video, I'm totally feeling it. I'm totally feeling the lack of baseball right now. I totally understand. I know you guys are there like 5 nights a week, but not being able to cover it, not being able to talk about baseball and everything, it's like, you got to be kidding. It's so crazy to not have baseball in my life right now, because we're waiting for the playoffs to start for SBL on Monday. And they will. We'll be all in Monday. And, in fact, Scott Dottino over there at Godfathers, he was messaging me. He's like, hey, so we got pizza on Thursday? I'm like, oh, man. I had to type in there, and I was so sad doing it. I'm like, no, not till next week, not till next Monday. I'm like, man, I got to go a week without pizza? No, I don't. You know what I could do? I can go down to Godfather's and buy a freaking pizza. And that's exactly what I'll end up doing this week, because that stuff is so good. It is Saipan's best pizza. You can't argue this. You can try, and you will fail. You will not beat, and we'll do a taste test. I'm telling you, you can't beat that pizza. The combination, the crust, that bread, you got to, I'm telling you. And if you're there, it's a good idea to, I got a phone call coming in on my other phone. Hold on, because this is Homeland Security calling me back, I think. Oh, hold on just for a second. As I'm about to do this phone. Hold on. Hop a day, this is Brad. All right. So just to give you guys a heads up on that one. Sorry, I muted it just in case there was anything crazy he was going to tell me. That was Bernard Villagomez. He is the Public Information Officer for Homeland Security Emergency Management. He sent an email out yesterday. He gave me a heads up while we were there saying that there was going to be some sort of a tabletop exercise today, but it turns out it's not a tabletop exercise. It is just a sit-down meeting. So, but it was going to be with Homeland Security, DPS, and PSS and everything, because they're starting to work on the plans for CONFITMA. CONFITMA is that big exercise where all the local agencies get together for some sort of disaster response. So anyway, he was just calling to let me know that it's just a sit-down meeting today and not the tabletop. So, so sorry about muting you guys there for a little bit. I wanted to make sure that he wasn't dropping any new info. Anyway, I did tell him, though, that we're about to throw this video up. So we're going to do that for you. So here is a little bit about that siren stuff that we were just talking about yesterday. So here you go.
Hi, my name is Bernard Villagomez. I am the Public Information Officer for the CNMI Homeland Security and Emergency Management.
Great. Hey, so Bernard, can you tell us about what's going on over here today?
Yeah, so we're doing testing of the messaging for our all mobile hazard sirens. So they beep off different messages. There's a tsunami warning, tsunami advisory, tsunami watch, imminent air raid warning, and a wildfire evacuation order, and then the all clear. So we tested all of them, and they loop around 3 times, and the message lasts around 2 minutes.
It's pretty loud for sure.
Yeah. Yes, it's pretty loud, yeah. Especially in the vicinity when you're near.
So it's a great setup. I missed you guys setting up, but like how long does it take to deploy and get everything going?
So it takes about around 5 minutes. Once we get the trailer off the hitch and all the legs extended out and the siren mobilized up, erected up.
And so it looks like it's all battery and solar?
Yeah, so there's solar and then there's a battery unit inside.
Wow, so it's not even dependent on generator, fuel, anything like that?
Yeah.
Is this the first one that we've got like this out here?
The all mobile hazard sirens, I believe it is the first for the all mobile hazard sirens. We were trying to get the big voice system, which is it's a pole and the siren's on the top of the pole, but it is kind of out of the budget. So these were our alternative.
How many do we have?
So we have two right now, and we do want to procure more, and it just really depends on the funding sources from the federal grants.
Wow, so that's great. By the way, that's going to be something to set that stuff up really quick and to get that going. And in order to deploy that, do you have to have all those supports out too? All the stabilizers?
It is definitely best to have the safety stabilizers out and then on flat ground.
All right. How do you think the test went today?
The messages beeped and they all were recorded and they were working today. So we're glad. So testing it on a monthly basis is definitely the goal for the Homeland Security and Emergency Management.
Great. I had a conversation with Zay earlier about why he chose up here. You want to tell us why you guys went up here?
Oh, so usually we wanted just to test all the messages up here because we can do any fixes or adjust any issues that come up. But since the test today was a success, we know that when we go to maybe the more populated, we can do the test and they will work and people would hear it.
So it's interesting. So I could see that it looks like there's a radio receiver. Are you able to activate it remotely? Like, do you just pop it up and do you have to stay here with it?
Yeah, so we have a control unit that's in the car. And so it's as long as the control unit is within range of the antenna on the mobile hazard sirens, it will work. And there's also a PA system where we can just handheld talk into it.
That's great.
Yeah.
And when did this unit get here? When did you guys order it?
So that was just this year we received them. Yeah.
This is the first test?
No, this is actually the second test. We had our first test, which we went from the north side and then the central area and the south side.
All right. And you guys picked up here just to see how far that voice carries?
Yes, yeah. because we did try at Pau Pau Beach, so we want to try the farther north side.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like it worked out. It's pretty cool. Is this some federal funding that helped us get any of this?
Yeah, so the funding source is the National Tsunami Hazard Mitigation Program, also known as NTHMP. So that's the funding source that procured these 2 sirens for us.
All right, great. And that comes in pretty timely based on like the last message you guys put out about tsunamis. Was it last week?
Yes.
Or earlier this week?
Yes.
Great. Anything else you want to add?
I appreciate, Brad, for you coming out and covering footage for this. And I'm glad that the sirens are working and they're successful during the test.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, you got it.
Alpha Dade's on Tiro, and for the Saipan Paddling Club, it's time to row their boat for the 2024 Micro Cup. And you can get on board with their raffle fundraiser on Saturday, August 24th. Tickets are just $1 and the grand prize is $200. All proceeds go to get the paddlers to the Micro Cup and help get them uniforms so they represent the CNMI in style. So support your local paddlers and buy a bunch of raffle tickets for your chance to win the $200 grand prize. Just go to the Saipan Paddling Club Facebook page for more information. That's the Saipan Paddling Club raffle fundraiser on Saturday, August 24th at 3 p.m. Don't be a drip. Help with their trip.
Is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
It's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down 3-0.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Ocean.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, is just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above. That's on a holiday. That's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E.
See the lights, see the party, the ball games. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little big I know. Say
Good morning, Marianas. It is 7:51 in the morning, and we are just feeling it this morning. Even fake Taylor got us going this morning. I can't tell you how much I love that stuff. I'm finding these things all over the place, and I'm going to keep those things going. I got a lot of them. Yeah, I'm full of something. You're right. Hey, good to see you guys. Hey, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Good to see you guys as we move on deeper into the morning. Oh my goodness. I just got sent something that's not a secret, I guess. Now, they were waiting for a long time and there was an official response, but oh man, this is, I could probably put this on here. Oh, you know, I need to turn it into a PDF, or from a PDF to a JPEG. Why? I think it's worth seeing for you guys, for sure. I was not expecting to see this morning. I didn't know this is how it was going down, but I mean, I guess this happens, right? So hold on, let me open this up and put this in here. I'm going to convert this into something. And I am stalling. I'm stalling until I get it converted, and then I'm going to send it over your way, because I just got this while we were taking that little break. And look at how fast I can make magic happen. Is that something? Brad? Are you magic? I am. I guess I'm just magic. All right, hold on. New window. Pop that in there. And let's go back to news service and the election. Ooh, what does that mean? Does that involve the election? Yes, it does. It absolutely does. Hold on. This is going to be it. You know, I could just do it as a share screen, right? I could have just done that in the beginning. All right. I'm going to have to zoom in on it, though, so it's big enough so you guys can see it. All right, cancel. Let's just put up the old share screen here, and you guys will be able to see exactly what I'm looking at. Kapow. All right? This is it. Everybody's free to do what they want. I wouldn't say that there's consequences involved with different things, with freedom of speech and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. But this is somebody who's going out and wanting to do some. Hey! Good morning, Eric. Good to see you. We'll talk Dallas Cowboys this season, I promise. But everybody has the choice to do what they want in life, and sometimes, and you know, that's one of the freedoms that we are guaranteed as United States citizens: the right to live live in the pursuit of happiness, right? But not everybody has to go along with what you're doing, and when you work for the government, you get a great position, you got a great job. Sometimes you got to make some decisions on what you want to do. And so now somebody's experiencing that now. So they, much like myself, I am definitely not half-assing this go at making this thing work. I have jumped in with both feet. So has one of these candidates for Congress, because they have tendered their courtesy resignation. Jim Rayfan, we had him on the show, and he gave us his thoughts about the economy, his thoughts about the new position, thoughts about why he wanted to run for office. And we thought that, you know, he was going to have to take that leave of absence and all that stuff while running. Well, there's no mystery. The governor has already, he appointed him to that position, and the governor has already come out in support of one of the candidates. Well, as a result of doing that, Jim Rayfan is no longer the director of the Office of Vocational Rehab. And here is the letter that we've got. This is the courtesy resignation tendered to the governor and lieutenant governor, and we'll read it out to you. Jim Rayfan, he says, my appointment by you to the head of the Office of Vocational Rehab during your administration has been one of the single greatest honors of my professional career. So it is with a sense of guilt, though layered with a deep respect for and gratitude to you both, that I hereby tender my courtesy resignation, effective August 30th, 2024, unless you deem it necessary for me to exit sooner. I work at your pleasure, of course. As you are aware of, I expressed my intentions to make a bid for the U.S. or for the seat of my delegate to the U.S. Congress seat, and given your endorsement of another one of the current candidates, I do not want to put either of you in a position of having one of your cabinet members opposing said candidate. I'm sorry that I do not share your enthusiasm for any of the candidates. I'm sorry, too, that I did not consider my position as a cabinet member and the impression it would have on you for me to run against your candidate of choice. What I know about politics, you could fit in a thimble, but I do know that some of those nearest and dearest to me have gone above and beyond this past week to ensure that I make the submission deadline this week and get on the ballot in November. I cannot let their efforts, support, and trust go unanswered. Finally, I greatly appreciated the opportunity to speak with you about this matter directly this morning, Governor. It meant a lot to me, and I will continue to look for ways to support your efforts on behalf of our CNMI in any way that I am able. Please let me know how I can be of assistance in helping to transition whoever you choose to appoint in my place. I hope you will consider the needs and desires of our current staff with your selection. I only want the best for your administration and for the Office of Vocational Rehab. My very best. Sincerely, James Rafan. And he copied all of the management for the Office of Vocational Rehab. So he's all in. There's no maybe about it now. Jimbo Rafan has now, let's wait 1 second. He said the governor did issue a formal response accepting his resignation last week, or this week on the 13th. We haven't received that yet. At least I don't think so. I don't think I've seen it on the old NMI News Service radar. Let's see. I have not, but I have received something from the governor's office. But either way, that's the breaking news for me, is that Jimbo Rafan is now, he's already resigned from that spot. Hold on, let me send him a message. I'm curious about that. I don't know if that means that he is out, or is he going to be able to serve until the end of the month? It just depends on the governor's take on it. And I'll tell you, I'm sure he knew that was going to be an issue. Literally, this is a new one for me this morning. But I'm sure he knew the governor would consider that an issue when he made that decision. But again, when you're driven to do something, you got to do it. And that's it. Let's see. Oh, I got the official response. Let's take a look. We'll save it to the same place. Hey, good morning, VJ. Good to see you. All right, let's open that up. Yeah, we can show you that one too, because we already got the magic screen of justice going here. Here, let's go ahead and transition this over. So here's the governor's official response from the governor's office. Dear Mr. Rafan, I am writing to formally acknowledge the receipt of your letter of resignation dated August 13th and officially accept the resignation from your office, from your position as the director of the Office of Vocational Rehab. Though I am disheartened to see you leave, I understand and respect your decision to pursue new opportunities. Your contributions to OVR in the past 18 months have been invaluable, and this was evident in your dedication and hard work. As you transition out of your role, I ask that you ensure that any outstanding projects, tasks, and administrative matters are addressed. Please give me a list of names for individuals who can work in an acting capacity to ensure the office continues to function seamlessly. Thank you once again for your hard work and commitment to OVR. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I'll tell you what, you can't get a more supportive letter than that if you're resigning. That is certainly a great response. So he is going to be there through the end of the month. So Jimbo Rafan's got 15 days left at OVR. And man, I'll tell you what, they're going to have a bunch of capable people there, hopefully, to take his stead. But I'm sure he will be missed over there. I liked working with him and getting him in here to talk about other things that they have going on, their initiatives and all that. And I hope whoever ends up taking over the role for him will do the same thing, because I'll tell you, like I've said it before, you guys heard me say it. OVR, CLI, NM Posse, like 3 great organizations that take care of folks and help people advocate for themselves. I love all 3 of those. And if there's something that we could do in our little capacity here, I definitely want to do it. So whoever's going to be running those shows, please let us know. Same with COTA, by the way. The Commonwealth Office of Transit Authority. They do such a good job for helping folks, especially folks who are mobility impaired. They really start to level the playing field for folks, helping them get around Saipan. And it's just starting. Like that blue line that they have that goes up and down Beach Road is not just Beach Road anymore. It loops all the way around going to the college. And they're going to be going everywhere. Just wait till that thing gets to Cagman. Imagine the access to jobs and opportunities that people throughout the island are going to get when they're able to get all over. I'm telling you, the impact that the Commonwealth Office of Transit Authority is going to have on this CNI, I'm sure it already has had massive amounts, but that's going to be something. Anyway, good morning to you, JJ. Thanks for popping in. Let me open this up too, by the way, so I can see whoever's over there on the old Good Morning Marianas page, because I don't get to see you guys unless I've got you open on the phone. That's part of how this thing works, where I turn the volume down too, because when you're watching the show and I'm watching the whole thing happen here on the computer, I can't really see a whole lot, but when you're watching it and I've got my my mobile device on the page, I can see who's watching and all that stuff. It pops up on there, and that's pretty cool. Anyway, we got it. So, Jimbo, thanks for sending that stuff our way. Now that we've got it, the governor's official response and your official resignation ending at the end of the month. Man, I'll tell you, that takes some stones. It really does. And I know exactly how that feels. I know how that is. I'm there with you, brother, because I am all in with 2 feet on this place. Ask me about it. Ask me about this van of justice I have. This news van of power and might, and why I've got it. Because I am all in on this thing. This is it. It is literally do or die. This is, and that's not figurative. I know the difference. This is a do or die thing. I am 100% both feet in on this, and you are too. And you know, the thing is, we both are lucky enough and fortunate enough to have some supportive women on our side to back us up on this stuff, because it's not an easy decision. But at some point, you draw a line and you reassess where you are and decide, this is it. This is what I'm doing. What am I doing with my life? I'm doing this. And that's it. I get it. It's really cool to see that I'm not the only one doing it. We are not the only ones doing it. Tobot, man, we got to get you in studio during one of these shows. I know business is just so good for you right now, so don't take the show over the business. But we got to have you come in here. For sure. And we're going to have so much space because we're going to be losing VJ this week. This is the last week of VJ. I know. Yes, we will. We'll provide Kleenex for all of you crying about it right now. But you guys aren't as sad as I'm going to be. I'm enjoying it while I can. So I only have 2 more days. It's today and tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be kind of an easy day. It's going to be like the last days of school before summer vacation for them. For real. Because they're like, what do we got to do? Well, tomorrow is going to be the big day. Actually, tomorrow's a crazy busy day for us because we've got the big end of the term for the interns luncheon at the Kensington. Then after that, there's a really big event happening with PSS and NMASA. That's going to be over there at the NMASA or NIMSA, they call it, conference room. And what is that? Public school systems and the body that oversees all amateur sports out here, and the sports director for the Marianas. Man, this building is shaking even more than normal right now. That's going to happen. Right after that, we're going to head over to NM Posse and do some video work for them. And that's really cool because we're going to do a video for them about the voters' rights and access rights for folks who may be mobility challenged. And I can't tell you how excited I am to do that. And just like that, that's how fast our last day is going to go. You know, that's it. It's going to be just that fast. So we're definitely going to miss VJ. He's had such a big impact on what we're doing here. And I'll tell you what, as just a me kind of guy for this place, I had to figure out how things were going to work with him, what I was going to be able to do, what can I do for myself, and what can I get him to do, and then find out what's the right level of workload and all that other stuff, and what's the capabilities. And so it was a little difficult at first for me, not for him. It's a piece of cake for him, but for me, trying to figure out all that stuff, getting used to having somebody else in here, somebody else doing part of the work, and trying to figure that out while you're actually doing it too was a challenge. But so having him here helped me grow professionally, having him in here, because really, like, I've managed a lot of people before. I've managed small teams and big teams and all that. That part's not the thing, but I've never done that while being in the fight for your life to make a business work and to figure out how all these components would work at the same time. And doing all that was pretty cool. And I got to thank the Chamber for that, because the Chamber's the one that really brought that to me. I didn't have to say yes to doing it, but it's an area of growth, and I was kind of forced to react on a different timeline. Like, ideally, I was thinking, when I get this stuff together and I could figure it out, and then I'll know exactly where I could plug in like an employee and all that, then I'll go in that direction. Well, this kind of pushed my comfort zone a little bit to figure all that stuff out on a timeline that wasn't determined by me. And wow, what a windfall it's been, to be able to have someone like this guy. And he's still in high school. Just imagine what he's going to do after he's done with college and all that stuff. It's going to be incredible. But again, so I hope he learned something out of this. I hope you did, buddy. But I definitely did. So, and that's not what I expected. I did not expect that I was going to end up learning probably more than he learned over here working for me. So it was really great. Oh, sorry, I got somebody sent me something here. All right, and this is from the Finisisu Mestizu sending me a photo. Does this mean, what is this? Is this a traffic jam? Is there a car crash? This is in Papago. Hold on, let me send him a message. What's that? Oh, wait and see what happened. LJ Castro out there on the mean streets of Papago sent this message about 5 minutes ago. Man, our air conditioner went from being great to not being great this morning. It's pretty warm in here, right? Can you put the other one on in the back? Wow, I can't believe how warm it got in here in a short amount of time. And let's see if that thing got iced up. Can you lift up that cover? Take a look. Yeah, it is. Yeah, all right, let me turn it off. So that's weird. I don't know why that happens. That's exactly what that guy was talking about the other day, right? Weird. I don't know if you guys get this stuff. Here, yeah, you know what? Waze works. Also, Google Traffic. Really? Let's see. So what Google does, of course, if you didn't know already, kind of tracks your phones and all that. Well, they use that to determine what traffic is like. Now I got to show it to not Boston. Let's go find us in the middle of the Pacific. Let's go. Where are you at? Not Hawaii. No. There we go. There's Guam. There's Northern Mariana Islands. You guys want to watch this? Here you go. We'll see if that's picked up. So this is where the picture was, right over here, if you could see my mouse over here in Papago, from what I saw in that picture. So you could see where it is red and yellow all along there. So that goes directly to the photo that LJ just sent us. And we'll see if he hits us back. That's where it's at Stay Hill Resort. That's where the big S on that big house over there. Have you guys seen that place? It's pretty cool. We have been there. We've been there for parties. I know they were doing that a lot during the pandemic. And we'll see what the good old LJ has to tell us about that traffic. Hopefully, let's see, did he hit me back yet? No. Maybe we'll give him a call. All right, well, in the meantime, the good news is there's a new drop from the Associated Press, so we'll get that to you right now. And then we'll call LJ while you guys are listening.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. Cisco Systems says it's planning to lay off 7% of its employees. That's its second round of job cuts this year as the company shifts its focus to more rapidly growing areas in technology like artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. Annual inflation in the U.S. last month hit its lowest level in more than 3 years. That sets the stage for the Federal Reserve to start cutting its key interest rate next month. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Meghani reports.
Consumer prices rose 2.9% in July when measured from a year earlier. That's the smallest gain since March 2001, and another sign the worst price spike in 4 decades is fading. Asked if the U.S. has finally beaten inflation.
Yes. I told you we're going to have a soft landing. We're going to have a soft landing. My policies are working.
But hours after President Biden spoke,
no victory laps.
Jared Bernstein, his top economic advisor.
While the trend is our friend, our work is far from done.
The inflation slowdown could impact the presidential race, where Donald Trump's been hammering Kamala Harris.
You're paying the price for Kamala's liberal extremism at the gas pump, at the grocery counter.
Harris says she will soon roll out her plans to lower prices and boost the economy. Sagar Meghani at the White House.
The World Health Organization has declared the Mpox outbreaks in Congo and elsewhere in Africa a global emergency. At a news conference, World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus says the Mpox outbreak are a public health emergency that could worsen.
The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported Mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying.
This is AP News. A report on cooling inflation heated up Wall Street.
Stocks edged higher on Wall Street after the latest update on inflation came in pretty much as expected. The S&P 500 rose 0.4% Wednesday. The Dow added 242 points. It's about 0.6%. That put the Dow back above 40,000 points for the first time in almost 2 weeks. The Nasdaq Composite ended basically flat. Treasury yields held steady in the bond market. That came after the U.S. government said prices paid by consumers in July were 2.9% higher than a year ago. The continued easing of inflation should keep the Federal Reserve on track to cut interest rates next month. Seth Sutel, New York.
In an AP interview, National Hurricane Center specialist Lisa Bucci says Ernesto, which is now a hurricane, is headed towards Bermuda.
Air Force and NOAA data from our Hurricane Hunter aircraft have shown that Ernesto has now strengthened into a hurricane. An additional strengthening is forecasted over the next couple of days.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
Alpha Dade's on Tiro, and for the Saipan Paddling Club, it's time to row their boat for the 2024 Micro Cup. And you can get on board with their raffle fundraiser on Saturday, August 24th. Tickets are just $1, and the grand prize is $200. All proceeds go to get the paddlers to the Micro Cup and help get them uniforms so they represent the CNMI in style. So support your local paddlers and buy a bunch of raffle tickets for your chance to win the $200 grand prize. Just go to the Saipan Paddling Club Facebook page for more information. That's the Saipan Paddling Club raffle fundraiser on Saturday, August 24th at 3 p.m. Don't be a drip. Help with their trip. That's right. That is a rubber chicken that you're listening to. It is over the top terrible. It's over the top terrible here on Thursday morning here in Saipan. Good morning, Marianas. Good morning, everybody. Holy Hey, good to see you guys. Hey, I'm just getting off the phone with LJ Castro. Let me know. That funny is that there was a single car accident that happened on the back road, and that's what they were working on. That's what caused the delay out there. Somebody ran into one of the power poles. Now, we don't know the conditions of what happened, but at least we saw that there wasn't an ambulance there, so that's a good thing. So while they're dealing with that, traffic's a little bit slowed up in Papago. All right, so when I saw Adrian Tancoy in the comment section, I'm like, oh man, this guy sent me a link. Now they've got Adrian is a great guy. He works with Turnkey Solutions, but that's not his whole life, right? And I got to work with him a lot during the whole Road to 80 thing, which was a really big deal a million years ago that, maybe you heard about it. And through that, we became friends and get to see more and see how his development's gone, like all the different videos he's produced and how he's branched out as an artist, really an artist when it comes to his photography and videography and all that. Well, he linked up with some folks called the Profound Bandits. It's a group, like a dance group. And I hope I can play this music and not get copyright. We'll see. But he produced this video. And I could here's what I can do first. I'll put the link in here for it. So let's do this. I'll give you guys the link. This is a video that just dropped yesterday on the 14th. We were looking for it. I'm like, hey, give it to me so I could put it on. And I want to be able to tell Facebook, hey, I got permission from these guys to do it. Now, the only thing is, I don't know what they're going to be they're going to end up telling me about the music. Are you going to be able to let it go? I don't know. I hope so. It's super cool. Let's find out. What did they put in there? The music is blessed. All right. Oh man, I hope I don't get dinged for copyright for this thing. But there's the link for it anyway. Maybe if I don't play the music, if I keep it really quiet, maybe there's a way to do it. Hold on. Let's see if I can't do this. Maybe I'll do like a picture-in-picture thing. What do you say? I want to show you guys this thing because I think it's really cool. And here, I got an idea. We're going to cancel this. We're going to call this the main with this. So this is a local dance group, and it is cool. I call it main pip, right? So let's add the share screen in there, right? Window capture, display capture. That's it. I'll just say display one. Okay, good. I even picked the right one. Come on, let's go. All right, good. I just got to make it the right size in there for you so you guys can actually see it. All right, you ready? There. Maybe this will let me get away with it. We'll find out. If all of a sudden the broadcast stops, well, you'll know why. All right, so this is it. And I got the music a little bit low intentionally so you can't get us copywritten out of here. That's the whole plan. I thought it was cool is that the locations that they chose here in Saipan, it would be cool to have them come in here and maybe talk about this a little bit. Adrian and all of them. I love, so like one of the things I really liked about this was all the transition work. So there's La Fiesta. That first shot was the old airstrip in Culberville/Azlito, like the old where the Japanese fighter base used to be back in the day. The dance moves are sick themselves, right? But just check the video transitions. My favorite one's coming up. This girl with the bandana right here. Sick. Look at that transition. And now this is out in Joten parking lot, like Joten Superstore. So all this is all locally done here in Saipan. Dancers from here. camera folks from here. Toyota's got to love it because there's a Tacoma in the background. And this is 90 seconds of awesome. This is really cool. And there we go. Now, you got the link in the comments so you know how to get to it. So you guys can see. Oh, did that whole time you guys were not able to watch it, right? I just was watching it myself. I got to do it again now. Come on. Oh, but I was so good. All right, here now you're going to be able to see it. This is it. I'll just talk you through it again. I was doing it without you being able to see it. All right, so this is the Azlito airstrip in Koblerville. Back in World War II times, this was a fighter base for the Japanese, or a fighter airstrip. And see, look at that transition. That wipe perfectly in sync with their dance moves. Takes you from Azlito over there to La Fiesta, the old mall across from Kensington. Sick moves. Now, you'll see the girl in the back with the bandana. She's the one who picks up this next move with the this transition. It is just sick. Whew, there it is. And next thing you know, they're over there at Joe 10 Superstore parking lot. There's the Tacoma and a Corolla. So it's a double AK Toyota happiness on that one. And so, again, the link is in the comments. So you guys can watch this yourself. You'll be able to hear the audio a lot louder than when I'm playing it. Again, it's because it's got such a cool song that we don't want to get hit with any of those copyright things. So, but just sick moves, cool music, and then great transitions. Look at that. Well done. Well done. That's all I can say. Just great stuff. And that's local talent here. By the way, I had a very spirited conversation about something. That's where this makes sense. A very spirited conversation with somebody about why our events here aren't cool. Like why our CNMI events that we have, like our sporting events and all that stuff, aren't events. And I know it came across, like, I didn't want to be all salty about it. That's the hard part, right? How do you criticize something constructively and with the intent of not putting the other person on their heels, right? You want to, there's a line where you want to be honest about it and also delicate. So I had this thought that at some point, though, the person on the other side of it has to just be receptive to knowing that everything that they're doing is not perfect, right? Everybody should know that already. I already know that about me. I already know that about the stuff I'm doing for the show. People are like, have you ever thought about trying this? I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm like, no, tell me. Give me ideas. I want this to be better, right? I didn't come in here knowing that everything was going to be perfect and that I have all the answers. No, tell me what's a better idea to add to this stuff, and let's do it. That's what we should do for our event coordination, our event management. We got some great people who will work really hard and do a really good job at what they do. True. Also true, some of the big events that we have aren't really big events, right? Because they just are focused on the wrong parts. That's my view on it, right? And one of the things is doing the event. Like if we are doing an event that's meant to support tourism here, you can't just do the event and check that box. No, you got to do other stuff. And you can't just throw money all over the place stupidly, right? Or, foolishly. So saying stupid, that's not really helpful. But like throwing money around definitely does help sometimes. But it's not always the best thing. So like, especially if you're trying to improve an event, sometimes it's not about more money. Sometimes you got to look back in and say, did we spend the money in the right place to do the right thing? And one of those things that they end up doing a lot is paying all this money to other folks in these other countries to come out here and do these things. I'm not talking about like the influencers and all that stuff. I get that. You want to do that. You want to help spread that stuff around. But It's like saying you don't think that we can coordinate an event like that at a professional level here. You don't think that we have the talent to cover it with great media stuff, great photography, and great videography out here. You don't think that we're able to organize a race and do the timing effectively and professionally out here. And I think that's just BS, complete and total BS. Now, they do it out of fear because they know that when they're hiring these folks from off island, that's what they do, and they're going to do it right. Correct? Correct. Right. Fair. But the problem there is that they don't know enough about the talent that we have here in Saipan. Run Saipan, like for instance, like for the big running events, like for the marathon and all that stuff, these guys have done more chipped events, like timing and all that stuff with big numbers than some of these guys who are coming in from off island. They can handle it. They can handle it. And it's been proven. It's not a maybe. It's not an unknown commodity. They have the plan. They've got the backups. They've got all that stuff. Putting on a big-ass event out here, they can do it. Making it an event, they can do it. And the budget is not going to be negatively impacted by it. They're like, well, what about the photographer? Holy crap. You see that video that you just watched? That's local talent. That's local talent. And by the way, putting together a banging video of that and polishing it up and then releasing it, right? Local talent can do that for our events, for our races, for our big events. And that's the kind of stuff that we need when you're planning for like big events, like Taste of the Marianas. Taste of the Marianas should not be an event if you're not prepared to capture it and package it and use that as one of the draws to bring people back here. And take that statement and copy and paste it on every other event that we do. If you're going to do a Saipan Marathon, you shouldn't do it unless you're going to capture it with photos and videos and turn that into a promotion for your island. Every single event that we support and we create should be done so, not just because, oh, we want to have something to bring people out here. Okay, great, right? But why are you doing, what's the real reason? You need to do it to where you are creating a product that is purpose-driven to bring people here. And doing it is one thing, but you're just going to ask for word of mouth, which that works for a little bit. We need a real image video, a real, and this is for everything that we end up doing. Why you come to Saipan? Here it is. Not just the beach, although hell yeah, the beach. Not just the people, but hell yes, the people. Not just the food, but hell yes, the food, but all of it together. Keep showing those things. Package all those things together. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. So what's the next big event that's coming on? Let's find out. Right here. Let's go. This is it. Let's see. I'm going to look here. Let's see if there's a calendar. I want to say I hope there's a calendar here. There we go. Road to Marathon. Road to Marathon is 156 days away. Saipan Marathon, 205 days away. Right? So, what's that? 4 months, 5 months? 5 months for the Road to Marathon and 6, 7 months, less than 7 months for the Saipan Marathon, right? That's what's going on right now. These are big events. All right, cool. Let's see the calendar outside of that. See what else we got going on. Okay, Hammy Golf Classic, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, which is really cool. Labor Day, Johnny Walker Blue, Billfish Tournament. I'm just looking to see if there's any of these that are actually like NBA events. I'm looking at their calendar right now. Taga Festival over there in Tinian. So if they're sponsoring any of these events, like they really they would be best served by packaging in when they decide that they're going to do it, making sure part of that budget is not just throwing the mayor's office in Rhoda or Tinian just some money to do the event. package in, we got to go capture this. Real photos, real video. And I'm talking cinematic kind of stuff. I mean, you're not talking about epic Lord of the Rings kind of stuff, right? But I'm talking about like really capturing it and making that an event, like a video package itself. That's your content for your social media stuff. That's your content for your website. Real quality stuff about what's happening. This is what motivates people to come out here. And you're not just saying you need to come out here just because of this. No, but that becomes one of the bigger things that are going on. So that is your image, your branding video. All these little things, Christmas in the Marianas too. I mean, it's great, right? But it's got to be a full-on, part of that budget has to be capturing it and packaging it so that people can see it. And when you do it, you don't have to pay like 5 figures to folks coming out here from Japan or Korea to capture it. Like, that's the thing. You can't do it. Like, we have some damn good talent out here. And I'm not just saying you get them cheap, but you're not having to pay to fly them out here. Now, is there a benefit to bringing folks out here? Yes. There is an absolute benefit to bringing folks out here. But it can't be your default. It can't be your default. You have to have folks here do it. The other thing is, handling the logistics for an event is good, for sure. But you need more about it. You need more than just logistics to make it great. I mean, you need logistics to win a war, right? That's what actually wins a war. But to make that super short, intense battle awesome, you need something else. You need some real firepower. You need to make it memorable. Really. And ask yourself we have good events. Nobody's going to say Taste of the Marianas isn't great because it's awesome. And what really makes it awesome is all the participation from all the different vendors, like all the food outlets and all that, the entertainers, the folks who build that, getting the entertainment on the stage over and over and over again, the music over and over and over again, all this great stuff. It is terrific, right? It is. But you got to capture it. You got to really package it. Like real legit stuff. I'm not talking about cell phone video, but like that's part of what's built in. And you don't have to, you can, yeah, sure. If you're going to take care of like bringing someone out here to help out and do something like that and like one of those influencer kind of things or whatever, but like a real professional grade marketing video. And I don't mean local standards. I mean like international standards, right? International excellence. And you are basically telling our local guys, our local talent to up their game. And some of them are already there. It's got to be an ebb and flow. You got to get the local guys in there. The local talent from here is freaking great. And that's what that video just showed you. Capable of all kinds of stuff. Now, if they start getting complacent, of course, right? But everything has to be purpose built, purpose driven. And that's it. So that's just a little sample. Adrian, you guys kick some butt on that video, man. Of course, you got to have the right talent doing stuff too, right? I mean, like you guys, it was a great choice in having those guys do that. Someone had to set that up and come up with that concept of putting it different locations and the transitions and all that other stuff. Freaking awesome. Local stuff. That was great. That's what we got. We got that kind of talent. People are capable of doing that. We could do that right here and let them drool about us for a little bit. Now, local talent, you got to keep watching what's happening internationally to know that if you can't just do that same video every single year the same way, right? You got to keep pushing that line forward. And then there's going to be new people coming in. You got to foster them and help them develop and all that stuff too. But that's it. That is absolutely it. It was a great conversation I had about this topic. It was. And it's a challenging one. Really, I'm not kidding. Like, because the purpose of the conversation isn't to say, ooh, you bad. me good. No, none of that. It's literally, we can improve. We got to do it together. We'll work together to do it, but we can make a better product that is better representative and more purposeful for our Commonwealth if we do this stuff. And, man, it's great when it happens, too. When that stuff happens and you see it all come together, oh, it's freaking magic. It's awesome. It is. I'll tell you. That bubble color run that we did this year, that's just one event, right? I thought it was awesome. We want to do something like it was never done before and have people walk away with something that was great. Same with, I have had the most charmed life in Saipan because of all the opportunities that have come my way. And okay, Brad, you talk about yourself. Yeah, I'm a little bit. But I've had so many opportunities, so many. It's the best thing, I'm telling you. And then you get the choice, do you want to go for it or not? Yeah, well, I went for it a couple times, and it was awesome. Doing the triathlons and all that stuff, being in them, pretty cool. But I ended up organizing one of them, and it was the Tagaman and Xterra. One year when the president for Taga Inc. Left Island because he was transitioning off with his job and everything like that. So I became the president of Taga Inc. I mean, it was only a temporary thing because they were kind of come back. And the first thing was, after seeing what it looks like and all these other destinations, like our finish line looked pretty lame. We have the archway that says you finished. Awesome. We'll put a moire on your head. Cool. And give you the medal. There you go. That's it. But, man, the whole thing is that you're asking sponsors to come in. You got to give them some real legit exposure. And you want that finish line to look like something. And as an athlete, when you're going to visit, and I'm not talking about the pros. The pros are, this is their job. They'll go anywhere because they're getting paid to win, and they're getting their trips taken care of and all that. But the goal is two things. One, you want it to get bigger. Like you want to expand the scope of that event. You want more people for a minute. It's at an unexpected error. Well, we'll see if that kicks back on. Anyway, so when you're hosting those kind of events here in Saipan, unless you are the race company that's in it just to make money for that, the real deal is you're trying to get people to come to Saipan and spend money. And they just happen to be doing it while doing a race, right? So you want to get that to grow bigger. So you got to put on a cool event, say that there's cool people that are coming, the pros, and the course is awesome, and holy cow, it's a party. Like, it's an event afterwards, right? So the event, the course, banging, right? We had a great course. It was awesome. But the start-finish line are at the same place, and the transition from swim to bike to run are all in the same place. So you can really make that place like a party for everybody else who's there. Because when you come rocking out of that water and there's everything out there, it was great. So I invited they had never had this before. And it had been going on for a while. It had been going on for about 9 years before I did it. Like, you get all their sponsors that you're getting in there, and they're giving you thousands of dollars because they want a piece of the action. They want to support it and see their logo. I'm like, you need to demand more if you're a sponsor. You need to get, real exposure out of this. Wait, you got to pay all that money just to get a little logo on a banner at the end of the race? No. You need to come out there and bring all that stuff. Now, there's a premium you pay for that stuff. Yeah, sure. But, you got to have it there. And seeing all that stuff out there makes it feel like it's really something. I'm like, hey, Coca-Cola, throw up your can. Hey, Miller, throw up your can, because they were one of the sponsors, Pacific Trading, back then when they still existed. IT&E, who I worked, actually was my real job. I'm like, dude, you guys, see that tent? There's the finish line. The finish line photos are the same every year. You want your tent right there with the logo and the branding. And then that whole finish line strip, you got to have banners that whole way, all the way, so that those sponsors can see themselves on there the whole way. And that becomes an event. The music, the finish line, the archway, what's there for you when you get there too, right? You got those massage chairs and all that other stuff. And part of that, again, being there and being the marketing guy, right, for a phone company or for any organization, and then seeing it grow over time. And then being an athlete, yeah, I was. Past tense, I know. But and going out and doing those races. I went out and did races in other countries and to see what it's like. I'm like, you need to physically go to those other events. You can't just come up with your own idea that you think this makes sense and then we'll do it this way. No, you can't. I mean, that's a good foundation, but then you need to open yourselves up to seeing, like, are we doing great? You send people out to those other races. And as a student, to absorb, to learn, to network. Send them out there. Get to know the athletes. Get to know the organizers so that they can send WhatsApp, so they can make phone calls and, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Yeah. Take a ton of photos and a ton of videos of what they're doing that works and how they're doing a better job at different things than us, and where we exceed, where they fall short. That's it. It is an education. By the way, that should be a great job for somebody in the tourism business. Send some of our local folks to go out there as students of tourism. I'm not talking about college. I mean, of course, yes, got it. But I mean, as students of tourism and knowing what the real purpose of these events are. Yes, you want to have fun events and you want to throw it. Yes, that everybody else should be looking at your event like, wow, this is great. I can't believe you guys put this thing on. It's so nice. Yes. But the real students of that stuff should be looking at it like, they engineered an event to drive tourism to their place, and they use that as a marketing tool for the potential to also come, because they're going to show all these other people having a good time. And you're not just trying to get people to come back for that event. You're trying to have people to come back to your place so that they can actually see that, holy cow, there's stuff going on here all the time. Who knows what's going to be happening when I go, but I'm going. It's all part of a plan. It is. And you got to have everyone on board for it. You got to get it. Hey, good morning, Jamel. Good to see you too. Thanks for tuning in. I'm telling you. And where you could save money is by hiring folks here to do some of that stuff. Some of the folks here with the talent to cover some of that stuff, that back end stuff, making sure that they can cover it, shooting the videos and taking the photos. But they got to be good. And then you cover your bases. Like, you get more than one. You don't hire just one person with a camera, right? You hire a couple of different photographers. And yes, you're going to pay less for the local talent here than you are going to pay for these international folks. And why? Is it because they're not as good? No, because you're not paying for their hotel. You're not paying for their travel. You're not paying for their meals. So the cost to you is going to be less. So you can spend less and get more of them and ask more of them. Because if they fail you here, and it won't be all of them, there's other folks to choose from who are good. And people get excited about it. The local photography community, there's a ton of folks. The local videographers, there's a ton of folks. Get them energized about it. Make them compete. You know, here's the other cool thing about it. You don't have to figure all that stuff out. You say you tell them about some of the shots that you want to get and all this other stuff, and you let their creative minds just roll with it. Because that's how they know. They know what our events are. They know where to go, especially for those races. They'll collaborate together and reach out to their friends to get those other shots and figure out all the logistics of how to cover a full-on race. Like if we ended up doing the Ironman here again, to get all those spots. I know we'll never do Xterra here again, which is a shame, because I would love to be able to do the coverage of it proper, but not just because, I would love to do the coverage of it proper and create that package, right? That would be getting people to come back here, because what an honor it is to be able to do that kind of stuff for the place that you live. It's not just about covering the event. You're telling people about the vibrancy of our community. It's the coolest job in the world. It is the coolest job in the world. And you got to give local folks here the opportunity to feel that honor. to do that stuff. They'll surprise you if you don't think they got it. You're thinking wrong. Everybody talks about local. Well, there's your chance. Do it. Making daily life cinematic every day. There you go. That's it. I'm telling you guys, that's it. You worry about breaking the bank by making banging ass events. I'm telling you, you don't have to. You just do it right. You're not asking for favors. You just got, what you're doing though is you're capitalizing on what we have here already and relationships. And yeah, you know what? When people know that you're going to do more business, if you're just thinking business wise, if you're going to do more business with folks on a regular basis, you're going to get a better deal. Right? Speaking of all that stuff, how long is it going to take before we figure out how we can build a convention center here? I don't know what grant program it's going to take, but there's a way to do it. We need to talk to UOG. Have you guys been to Guam and seen the University of Guam field house? Holy friggin' smokes. That place is awesome. Oh, yeah. I don't know how many, what is the seating capacity of that place? That's what we should find out. Can you check that out, VJ? Can you see how, like, what the seating capacity is for UOG Fieldhouse? See if the Google machine can tell us cool stuff like that. It is fully concrete. It's massive. It's bigger than anything that we've got that's all concrete. 5,000? So it seats 5,000. That's like for a sporting event. That's how many people you can fit on the floor. That's seating capacity for all the fancy seats. Have you seen the plans for the new cultural center at Civic Center, Luisa says. No, I haven't. It's the first I've heard of it. Really? At Civic Center? Is there enough space? Maybe. But no, I haven't seen it. I've only seen where they start building those Palapalas or the Oots over there. But UOG Fieldhouse, first of all, the seats are 5,000, right? And then they could fold those up to create even more floor space so that they can have the expos. Like I was there in February for the Quality of Life Expo for the Joint Region Marianas, MWR, which is the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation for the military. So they have a big expo. They had 83 vendors there. We were there. It was the first time Triple J was there. And hopefully it's not the last time because, man, it was massive. Telling people about products they don't even know about, like our hotels and all that stuff. They hadn't heard about it. MVA was there. Crown Plaza was there. But Crown Plaza has dual-hatted because they're also catering to the local military there to tell them about their properties that are there. The Rhoda Mayor was there. Aubrey Hooka and her team were there. And that was brilliant, by the way, that the mayor went there to attract tourists to come to Rhoda, her and her staff. Brilliant idea. Just awesome. Just great that they did that. So you got the mayor. Who else was there for us? The mayor was there. MVA was there. Crown Plaza was there. We were there. I want to say there were two more folks from the CNI. Skydive Saipan Skydive Saipan was there. So I saw Christian, Stewart, and then who was the other one? Man, I'm spacing out. There was another group that was there, and I'm really missing out. Was it NMC's Small Business Development Center? Maybe? I can't remember. But it was outstanding. They had the 83 different vendors. They had a big stage. They had all this other stuff. All this is to say they've got locker rooms. They've got training rooms. They've got all kinds of space. Like they got vendor spots and everything, all safely tucked under this fully concrete structure that can withstand just about anything. I'll tell you, if we had something like that, that's our convention center. Like, that's where they have the big acts come in. Like, where they have, like, if it's not at a hotel, like, for us, it's always, like, at Hibiscus or at Taga Hall, right? That's it. And they got to pay all that money for that facility and all that stuff, which is, it's great. But they have this massive facility for that. And then they're able to play like, it's for UOG, it's like for their basketball where they have tournaments and all that other stuff. Like this would be such a massive thing. It would cost a ton of money. Oh my God. I can't imagine having a cool facility like that here. But for really like big concerts, that would be the facility you book. For really big conventions. I mean, this is not like where you've got like the like a bunch of governors get together. No, that's way too big for something like that. But for sports, yes. For performances and stuff, oh man, yes. And again, they've got it's so big. You know that big stage that we set up for Liberation and for every concert and everything like that? You could fit that inside this thing and have like that would be the stage you would set up for that kind of thing. But imagine being able to mount lights like on the walls and from the ceiling and also they have a massive scoreboard like from the middle that they just replaced. You get real sponsors come in to sponsor that kind of stuff. That's what we need. Does it have to be that big? I don't know, maybe. I mean, we're already there. If you're already building it, why not go all the way? I mean, if you're going to have 5,000 seating capacity, and that's 5,000 seating capacity for the sporting event. Like that's where, like when you look at MHS Gym where the seats fold back, that's for imagine it going up a lot taller, or at a gym, same thing. It just gets a lot taller. So for 5,000 all around, it's great. Maybe we just pull that up just to show you UOG Fieldhouse. I was really impressed. I didn't think it was as big as it was. And it was. I mean, here, let's see. I'll do the old share screen again so you guys can see it. Transition. That's it. I mean, the Calvo's Fieldhouse at the University of Guam is outstanding. I mean, and that scoreboard right there, I don't even think that's the latest photo of it. No, it doesn't even look that big in this version of it. Man, because it is huge. It is absolutely huge. Let's go back. Some shots that really show it. Like here's one right here, Foursquare. Let's see if we get a bigger version of these photos here. See, this doesn't, maybe this doesn't make it look as big as it really is, but I'm just telling you, it is huge. And it's all concrete. Right? I mean, like this gives you a little bit better of an idea of it. That's outside. And these are other photos. Okay. But I'm telling you, this thing is a facility that would be awesome for us. Oh my gosh, Flickr. I forgot that thing even existed. Here's another good shot of it. Here, I'll open these things up for you. Even this makes it look cozy with all the seats put in like this. Here, let's see. But again, yeah, this makes it look cozy and small, but it is not. I'm telling you, it is big. I'm asking him like, yeah, take my word for it. All right, so those are like the bench seats that you got over there at MHS, only they're green for University of Guam, right? And all those pushback, and the place is cavernous. Again, 83 different vendors with tables and everything for this big event that they had, and as like a trade show. And we could end up doing something like that here. All our concerts. How about UOG Fieldhouse concert? Maybe that's what I got to search for. UOG concert. See if they've got a picture of something like that. Not so much. It's not as great. Yeah. I've never been there for a concert. But I know they brought in big acts over there. And it was pretty cool. But we end up building something like that here. And I think that's a big game changer for us because we're always looking for like a big venue. I mean, the biggest venue that we have, I think, is Taga Hall. And there's no knocking it, right? Taga Hall's great over there at World Resort, and Hibiscus is great over there at, I was about to say Fiesta, but Crown. And you got, is it Queens Hall? Queens Hall's the little one, right? There's 2 spaces at Kensington. There's a smaller one, and then there's the big spot where they have like the inaugural Gallows. But it's not the same thing. It's not like what we had for for any of these big events. Anyway, I'm going on a little bit too much about the idea, but if we ended up building something like that, it would be great to have it here. So, all right. That's funny. What are you laughing at, Brad? I can't tell you. It's too funny. Ooh, someone just sent me this picture. What? Where is this from? That is awesome. This is the picture of that proposed cultural center. Hold on, let me put this in. I'll show this to you guys. I think you'll like it. Put that under GMM. Where are we? And where do I want to put this under? Would this be an NBA thing? Or who is this? Who would actually be fronting this? I'm just going to put it here for now. And then we'll put it on here for you guys. So you'll be able to see it. This is just sick. I have not seen this. Here we go. Take a look. This is the proposed cultural community center. It kind of looks like a super fancy combination of what they have at EPOW in Guam and the Chamorro Market where they had the Micronesian Fair. That looks incredible, especially if all those are like hardened structures. If those are all like real legit oots out there, like made out of concrete and stuff. First of all, that parking looks fantastic. But look at all of that. And that's right across from MHS and from the courthouse and from DPS. That's what you're looking at up there behind it. In fact, if I lower it a little bit, here, let me go back over here to the share. Just to show you a little bit more of what this is. So look, I'll lower this so you can see the street now. You see where this is? This is the courthouse parking lot. These are the driveways for MHS. Here's the election commission parking area. So now you know. But holy cow, does this look awesome or what? Yes is the answer. It looks awesome. Wow. I mean, like if all those are like real hardened, like concrete structures, right? So that little amphitheater kind of looks like what they've got over there in Tinian. By the way, Tinian's got a great spot. I don't know what they use it for, though. I always see over by Jones Beach is where they do all the events. But they've got like a great spot over there at, it's a Brad is WhatsApp working on your work phone. Tried to share the article. Oh, yeah, Ricky Simmons, like Chamorro Village. It just depends. Luisa, let me see. Hold on, let's see what we got. Oh, you did send it. You sent it to the other one. So, Luisa, do you not have my regular phone? Hold on 1 second. I'm going to send you that message. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, now you and Chuck have my regular number. There you go. Yeah, that somebody did beat you to it. But no, that's great. So thanks. I got it. But yeah, if those things are concrete and able to withstand all kinds of stuff, I like the little roundabout over here, the little turning area there. But in Tinian, they've got that great one that I haven't really seen an event for yet, but it looks really cool. But everybody does everything at Jones Beach. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the parking. But this one looks like it's got some parking. Maybe it's not enough. But it's got parking on both sides as well. And wow, like a nice walking area. You just imagine people are going to be barbecuing on the beach too, because yes. because absolutely they will. But it looks fantastic. It really does. I love it. I love this idea. So let me forward that link to myself so I can get it on the computer. It was in the Variety, and I'm going to send it to myself. There we go. Boom. All right. Well, let's, that was the alarm of that. And let's go over to it. 1 second. I want to show you guys this thing. And how did I miss this thing? This was, because it came out in the paper yesterday. That's why. Yesterday was a busy day for us. Wow, there's another photo of it there too. Wow, all right, who made this? This is great. Let's see. Office of Planning and Development. No way. Oh, it's funded by a grant from the Economic Development Administration. We need to have OPD in here for sure. EJ. Yes, let's do this. Could you look up the Office of Planning and Development's phone number and ask them if they could come in to talk about, or even call us back, but to talk about the Olei Cultural Events Center. And we'd like to have them come in as guests. If tomorrow would be great. If it's got to be next week, that's fine. Next week's fine too. Thank you. All right, so but just checking out what's available in the article here about that. Oh my God, it's scheduled to start early next year. Break ground across from Marianas High School, which is just where we were telling you about. A two-part project includes construction of the sports complex and event center with a total budget of $21.6 million. Holy smokes. Wait, where's the sports complex? I don't see any sports complex in there. I don't see anything sports related in there, but it says the event center portion of the project will include that big main pavilion, everything you were seeing in that photo we were showing. 9 medium-sized kiosks, the amphitheater stage, rear storage, kind of probably like what's going on over there at Antinian, paved parking, restrooms, all that other stuff. To get them on the show to talk about, they could talk about everything, but specifically looking forward to hearing more about the Olei Cultural Events Center. All right. What else? They're also going to have restrooms, landscaping, outdoor enhancements such as lighting, sidewalks, benches, installation of necessary utilities, and all that stuff. Hopefully, some cameras so people don't steal that copper wire. They said it'll serve as the premier venue for community events throughout the year. There you go. So, yes, Luisa, this is super cool, by the way. Super, super, super cool. What I like about the UOG Fieldhouse, though, is that it's all inside. It's all indoors. I love the outside stuff. I'm not saying I don't. But we have like an indoor convention center that isn't dependent on the weather. That would be really cool. All right, so what else do we have in here? Dedicated space for all these things. I want to know about this sports part, though, because I don't see it. It's a two-parter, so I want to hear more about that. So this part here that we were just looking at, that main photo, let's see if I can't open this up bigger. And this is it. So this is off of the Variety page that we're looking at right now. Am I able to switch it? Can I change out to the different images? Yeah. Yeah, so these are different views of the same thing. So it looks like they're all nice concrete hardened structures and all that stuff. But it doesn't look like there is a spot for the sporting events in this one in particular. But doesn't that place look awesome? Look at that. It just doesn't look like there's any space for the sporting stuff on there. But, wow. They're going to break ground on this in 2025. Look at that little car. That car is probably still bigger than the news van of justice. But the freedom van. But, wow, that is going to be such a game changer for the Commonwealth. Really, that's going to be gorgeous. I absolutely love it. All right, let me see if they've talked about who actually designed that. But I know, it's with OPD, right? And the grants from the EDA, the Economic Development Administration, which is fantastic. Who designed it? Well, looks like I can find out by sending them a message. Yeah, Luella Marciano, like who it looks like it is. So we'll ask who created that. And hopefully we'll be able to get them in here. We'll ask all those questions if we get them back in here. All right. Hey, I just realized while we were going through and talking about all that stuff that it is 9:05. Oh, my goodness. So we've got the latest that's available from Associated Press. So we'll hit you with a double dose of that. We'll get you the sports and the weather. It's going to be local sports like husking coconuts. Yes. Hey, I'll take it. That's cool, too. Like if we held, like the micro games. I don't remember hearing about Micronesian all around, but that was like one of the best events of the micro games. I loved all that stuff. It's like the decathlon, but for local events. All right, we're going to hit you with a double dose from AP. We got the latest drop from the Associated Press for the for news, and then we'll hit you with sports, and then pretty much call it a day. If you guys have any other ideas, send us a message. Luisa, you got my regular number now. Woohoo! So you guys, when you send stuff to me, it pops up on the WhatsApp that's on the computer, and then I could pop that stuff on there. Thanks for sending that stuff. Thanks for tuning in here today. Let me give you the latest that's coming out from the United States and all around the world with the Associated Press.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. Police in Northern Virginia say they're looking for a homeless man they suspect broke into an office of Donald Trump's presidential campaign. The Lowdown County Sheriff's Office said it has issued an arrest warrant for a 39-year-old on a burglary charge in connection with the break-in. AP correspondent Ed Donahue reports on a ruling over wording about abortion rights.
The Arizona Supreme Court ruled a fetus can be referred to as an unborn human being. The ruling means an informational pamphlet for Arizona voters who will decide in the fall whether to guarantee a constitutional right to an abortion can use the words unborn human being when describing a fetus. The proposed amendment would allow abortions until a fetus could survive outside the womb, typically about 24 weeks, with exceptions to save the mother's life or to protect her physical or mental health. Arizona Supreme Court justices sided with Republican lawmakers over proponents of the ballot measure on abortion rights. The group Arizona for Abortion Access says the ruling is disappointing, but it will not deter them to communicate to voters why it's critical to vote yes to restore and protect access to abortion care in the fall. I'm Ed Donahue.
Former President Donald Trump cast his ballot in the early voting period for the Florida state primary and says he feels he will do well over the next few months.
Great honor to vote. They've done a fantastic job here, and we appreciate it. We think we're doing very well. We just had a poll that shows we're doing very well, and we have an interesting couple of months ahead of us.
The Arizona Supreme Court has ruled that a proposal that would let local police make arrests near the state's border with Mexico will appear on the November 5th ballot for voters to decide. That sets up the biggest push to draw local authorities into immigration enforcement since the state's landmark 2010 law requiring police to question people about their immigration status. This is AP News. AP correspondent Julie Walker reports that the judge in Donald Trump's hush money case again is refusing to step aside.
Donald Trump has lost his latest bid for a new judge in his New York hush money criminal case. Judge Juan Merchan, in a decision posted Wednesday, declining to step down. This comes as the case heads toward a ruling and potential sentencing next month. The request was the third from lawyers for the Republican presidential nominee, arguing Merchan has a conflict of interest because his daughter works as a political consultant for prominent Democrats and campaigns, including Vice President Kamala Harris's 2020 presidential run. She's now Trump's Democratic opponent. Last year, a state court ethics panel said Merchan could continue on the case. Julie Walker, New York.
The UN Children's Agency, in a new report published today, says that the frequency of heat waves in the region has more than quadrupled since the 1960s. I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
AP Sports, I'm Chuck Freeman. The Minnesota Vikings are going through some early season adversity. Correspondent Gethin Kubal has more.
Minnesota Vikings rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy has a torn meniscus in his right knee that will require surgery. McCarthy was hurt during his preseason debut when he went 11 for 17 for 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception against Las Vegas. He reported persistent soreness to the team when players reconvened. The 10th overall pick in this year's draft was sent for further examination that revealed the injury. The rehabilitation for a full repair is much longer than a partial tear. The severity won't be known until the procedure takes place.
Cleveland Browns rookie defensive tackle Mike Hall Jr. arrested and charged with domestic violence after a fight with his fiancée. Police in Avon, Ohio say Hall was booked and arraigned at Avon Lake Municipal Court and released after posting bond. New York Yankees third baseman Jazz Chisholm, who was acquired near the trading deadline, appears to be headed to the injured list with a left elbow injury. That's according to manager Aaron Boone. The 26-year-old Chisholm has a possible ulnar collateral ligament injury, and Boone said he will likely end up on the injured list. On the positive side for the Yankees, they did win 4-1 over the Chicago White Sox. Juan Soto homers 3 times for New York. Elsewhere in the American League, Toronto 6-1 over the LA Angels. The Houston Astros keep their winning streak going with another win over Tampa, as correspondent Steve Carney reports.
Yusei Kikuchi picks up his 6th win, and Alex Bregman and Jeremy Pena each homer as the Houston Astros defeat the Tampa Bay Rays 3-2. Bregman's 5th inning solo shot off Rays starter Shane Baz was one of his 3 hits on the evening, finishing a triple shy of the cycle. Bregman says he's feeling locked in at the plate.
Feel really good. Yeah, just trying to keep rolling, stick to the same things we've been doing pre and post game. I feel like swinging as good as I ever have in my career.
Kikuchi allowed a run on 3 hits while pitching into the 6th, improving to 2-0 since being traded to Houston. The Astros extend their winning streak to 7 straight, while the Rays fall a game under 500 on the season at 59-60.
Minnesota blasted Kansas City 13-3. Boston over Texas 9-4. Cutter Crawford carried a perfect game into the 6th inning. Connor Wong highlighted a 12-hit attack for the Red Sox with a 3-run home run. The Seattle Mariners fall a game and a half back of the Astros in the West after getting drilled by the Tigers. Correspondent Denny Kapp reports.
The Tigers score early and often in a 15-1 rout of the Mariners. Detroit took an 11-1 lead into the 5th thanks to DH Kerry Carpenter homering twice in his return from an IL stint that started back in May. Catcher Jake Rogers hit a grand slam and finished with 7 RBIs.
I've been working hard and trying to get on time and kind of been in between. And, obviously, had Kirby saw him, like a week ago, so I knew kind of what his stuff looked like, and we're just trying to be on time for the heater and got some hit.
Mariners starter George Kirby gave up all 3 of those long balls and became the first pitcher in the majors this season to give up 11 earned runs in a game. Gio Urshela and Javier Baez also went deep for Detroit, which dealt Seattle a costly loss.
In the National League, Arizona topped Colorado 4-3. Jake McCarthy, a 2-out, 2-run single down the left field line in the 9th inning, lifting Arizona to the win. San Diego blanked Pittsburgh 3-0. Atlanta wins in 10 innings over San Francisco 4-3. The Philadelphia Phillies continue to slide. Another loss, this time against Miami. Correspondent Mike Luongo has the story.
The Phillies slump continued as they were shut out for the 4th time this season in a 5-0 loss to the Marlins. Miami jumped to a 2-0 lead in the top of the 1st. They made it 3-0 on a Jake Berger home run in the top of the 3rd. All 3 runs came off starter Taijuan Walker.
I think as a whole, though, would like to be better, but first one out wasn't terrible, but that first inning, kind of sets the tone for the whole game.
Walker's record dropped to 3-4 for the Phils, who have lost 4 straight and are 7-16 since the All-Star break.
These times are going to happen, but I believe, towards the end of the year, and it's going to be sooner rather than later that we're going to get out of it.
Valente Belloso picked up the win for Miami.
Los Angeles Dodgers are getting hot. They're getting healthy as well. They beat Milwaukee 7-2. The Dodgers hit up Milwaukee starter Colin Ray for 4 home runs. Cincinnati topped St. Louis 4-1. Hunter Green allowed 1 run through 7 innings. Interleague play, the Washington Nationals get big-time production from a pair of rookies. They beat Baltimore. Correspondent Craig Heist reports.
Andre Chaparro had 3 doubles in his major league debut, and rookie James Wood had 4 hits, an RBI, and 3 runs scored as the Nationals beat the Orioles 9-3. Starter Jake Irvin went 6 innings, allowed 2 runs on 7 hits to improve to 9-10. Orioles starter Trevor Rogers gave up 5 runs on 7 hits over 5 innings and fell to 2-1. For Orioles manager Brandon Hyde, his offense is just too inconsistent.
We're not moving the line offensively enough, overswinging at times, kind of trying to just our swings just can get really big at times, and we need to improve on that.
Ildemaro Vargas had a sac fly and a 2-run single for the Nationals. Anthony Santander hit his 36th home run of the season for the Orioles.
The New York Mets have lost their last 4 games, getting outscored 31-5 in the process, beaten by Oakland 9-4, and Cleveland topped the Chicago Cubs 2-1. Chuck Freeman, AP Sports.
All right, everybody, it is 9:16 on your Thursday. You're all caught up with headlines for news and sports from the Associated Press. We're out here having a great time because we're still here. We just posted for you on our NMI News Service page, wherever you're watching. It's on there now. Something that just came out, an advisory from the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation. And this is about a portion of the road being closed along Texas Road in Chalancanoa. And here we go. They're doing, and you're going to want this for sure. If you don't want to be in the area as it happens, but they're closing off a portion of Texas Road because they're going to replace a 2-inch water pump bypass for the wastewater. Yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. They're going to replace, because there's a 10-inch line. It's asbestos sewer line. What that is, that's asbestos concrete that used to be the standard. Anyway, that's not there anymore. It collapsed, and they need to make a bypass around it in CK along Texas Road. So they're inching their way along. They've already inched their way along behind our road here in Oleai. And they're going to do it there. So there's going to be a little bit of a temporary road closure along Texas Road from 9 till 4:30 tomorrow. So get ready for it. Tomorrow, that's what's happening. And today, man, I'll tell you, you're going to want this. You're going to want them to close that road so they can fix this issue. If that line collapsed and it's getting old, I mean, those things last a long time. But you want to have them get rid of it and put in the new stuff. So there you go. Anyway, that's what we've got for you today, CNMI. That's your news, your sports, your weather, all the stuff that's happening in our community. And, man, I'm really excited now about this Community Cultural Center. We are in contact with them already, and we're going to see if we can't have OPD in here tomorrow. They're interested in coming in tomorrow at 8 o'clock, so we'll see if that works out. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking our page. Thanks for sharing the page. Thanks for telling people about the YouTube channel, the Instagram, and right here at the NMI News Service. Guys, we're growing. I can't believe how fast it's happening, but legit, it's happening. I mean, when we started this thing, we started from scratch with a whole lot of nothing. And now we are getting even closer to that magical number of 5,000 followers. We're at 4,955 right now. And so we're 45 away from hitting the magic number of 5,000 from Facebook. So if you haven't already become a follower of our page, please do. That opens things up. And also, if you haven't already, go check us out on YouTube and become and subscribe to us. We're trying to get to 1,000. Again, we hit both of those numbers for Facebook at 5,000 and YouTube at 1,000. Things really open up for us. It changes how the algorithm works. I mean, granted, we want to have more people than that for sure, because it really gets the word out more too. But that it also helps us with advertisers and letting them know that we got a lot of folks. But at least for the algorithm itself, it lets us become a monetized entity, which is pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, that's what we've got for you today. We'll be back again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock for another issue of Good Morning Marianas. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors. And thanks to you guys, because without you, this thing doesn't work.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami and greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news from a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning Mariana.